Previously,
God damn it, I fucked that ghost.
and in this episode, let us continue.
Hi everyone, we're back. When we left off, we found out that John has been air humping the air, I guess, this whole time, and now we are back to, I don't know, reflect on these things, I suppose. I'm not really sure what to do next, but let's just go up and check that drawer, because I believe that we have the key for this. Yeah, hey, this key, it fits here. I had forgotten about this locked dresser in my room, but what was the key for doing in that place? Probably the same reason why the fucking hardware store was located outside of the fucking city. I think my mouth is a little bit too far from the mic. Let me fix that for a bit. What's this? Basement key? Basement key for what? Give me a minute. I'm gonna pause this and check if my thing is actually recording properly. Okay, it seems like it was just a false alarm for some reason. I don't know. Doesn't feel like it was. Anyway, dots. It's marked basement. Seriously, it doesn't feel right. It seems like it's not recording as much as I think it should. I don't know, whatever. Volume up, I guess. But aside from that one drawer I was keeping money and a crowbar in, I don't remember having anything locked up down there. Okay, so basement in my basement then. But wait, there's something else in here. Should I take it? Why not? What? What is this? Second gold ring? This ring. It's identical to the one Sarah gave me. The one I'm wearing right now? She said it was her father's wedding ring. They're even worn and scratched in the same places. How's this possible? This drawer has been locked since before I first left this town. House. Town? Where did that come from? What the hell is going on here? Yeah, don't even ask me. Fucking Jesus Christ. Okay, I think I have a theory. And the time when she was shot by those cultists, that probably wasn't a dream. It was maybe, like, what the fuck? Is this thing even recording correctly? It's a bit blurry. Jesus Christ, I'm really sorry, guys, but dude, it doesn't feel right. God damn it. Give me a minute. Yeah, terribly sorry about that again. I'm just not really used to seeing these things. What the? Huh? Where is everything? And where did that door come from? So yeah, she was probably shot by the cultists, and I thought that was a dream at first, but maybe. John was actually spared or somehow survived, and to cope up with the death of Sarah, he, conjured up some sort of hallucination, and even went as far as sleeping with it. That's an actual thing that people do when their loved ones die, right? Whatever, use the basement key, why not? Wait, when did the fucking... Yeah, when did the wedding happen? Was that after she was shot? Yeah, I think she was shot before the wedding. So I'm not really sure. Anyway. Look. More mazes. It's almost the same maze as the one in the hardware store. Weird. Yeah, it's also a marshmallow. There's an elevator in my house that I'm not really aware of. God damn it, John. Spill it out. What have you been doing all this time in your basement? It's pretty obvious that you don't need any of this for your daily rates, man. And creepy walls. No creepy walls. Good. Just a door. Oh, I think this is gonna be a interrogation thing. Hello, John. Please take a seat. Oh, motherfucker. John, there is... What the fuck, dude? You're handsome. There's a chair for you. Feel free to have a seat. This will take a moment or two. Dots. It's not like I have a choice. I don't even know what I should be doing here. To begin, your name is not John. Of course it's not. I'm not trying to offend any Johns out there, but the name is pretty common that if someone were to make up a false identity on the spot, then John is probably the first name that will pop up into their minds. So yeah, maybe John James Johnson is this guy's full name or something like that. I don't know. Shortly enough, you will remember your true name. I am certain that at least a few of your repressed memories have trickled back into your unconscious mind, likely in the form of dreams. A sequence of words I am now using will return all of your original memories to you, but it will take some time, so it's kinda like hypnosis. Were they to rush in all at once, it might prove more than your mind could handle. So I have taken steps to ensure that they return to you gradually. In the meantime, I will do my best to explain your, or rather, my situation. So what you're saying here is that you are my, subconsciousness or hidden consciousness or something? Then what the fuck is up with the yellow-green shirt? Is that like one of John's deepest desires? Memories. You were not originally from this world. Oh, so we have aliens now, okay. Or to phrase it more appropriately, you are not from this version of this world. So, we just came from a paranormal cult thriller game and into a sci-fi paranormal cult thriller. Can't wait for the fucking velociraptors to appear then. You are most certainly not a real estate lawyer. Well, that fucking sucks. Rather, you are a scientist. That does not suck, but that explains why everything is getting more confusing. Fuck me. You are currently in your lab, situated some 1,000 meters below your home and the surrounding area. I do not know how long it will take for you to return here and listen to this message, but some time ago, you achieved a rather remarkable feat. After years of research in what you would, in your current state of mind, understand as quantum physics, you discovered a way to capture, enlarge, and stabilize the naturally occurring wormholes that form at the smallest scale of the universe. God damn it, should have taken that quantum physics class last semester. Eventually, you stabilized one to the point where travel through it was possible. This wormhole formed an opening in the boundary between your universe and an alternate parallel one, the one you currently inhabit. The research you were doing and the results that came of it were strictly forbidden by the social and scientific regulations of your world. Let's just see how this goes. So, you went forward alone outside of the watchful eyes of your peers, and transported yourself along with your entire lab here to this reality. You placed yourself and your facility far beneath the surface to prevent causing harm. Whatever. You had hoped to spend ample time preparing the best way to integrate yourself into your new surroundings, but your excitement proved to be too great. There was much you wanted to share with the people of this alternate reality. So that, I guess, explains why John's name is John. Because it's very safe to call yourself a very common name than, say, risk calling yourself something rare but popular like Obi-Wan Kenobi or Satan. Like, it shrugs off suspicions or questions why the fuck would a parent call their son Satan? Or, if you're Obi-Wan, then you're gonna have to make sure that you know everything about Star Wars, because every fucking fan would want to be friends with a dude named Obi-Wan. But your excitement proved to be too great, I read that already. And much you hope to learn from them in turn. However, upon venturing out, you made a discovery. The version of your world that you had traveled to was primitive compared to the one you had come from. It was populated with human beings genetically identical to those found in your universe, but their society and level of technology was disappointingly ancient. It was as though you had gone back in time to experience history firsthand. Surely enough, after some research into their past, you came to understand what happened. In their timeline, they experienced what they termed an industrial revolution, the creation of the steam-powered engine and the beginnings of modern industry. A little more than 200 years before the present date. In your own timeline, steam-powered technology had existed since the days of ancient Greek civilization. Holy fucking shit! Steampunk Archimedes for the win, man! Plato contemplating the meaning of sideburns? Or even Icarus and his dad getting to the moon, the first people to the moon, with their feather wax wings? Whatever you guys did differently in your timeline shows how much we fucked up ours. In short, the universe you found yourself in was 2 millennia behind your own in its development. But in spite of the difference in advancement, you found something intriguing about the people in this reality. The people here conducted themselves differently than those of your world. They were younger, so to speak, Their behavior showed little regard for long-term consequences, and their emotions were intense and unconstrained. Never before had you seen so much fear and anger expressed in the daily affairs of a society. Two emotions that were dangerous in their own way, but nonetheless an integral part of our evolution as the dominant species on this planet. You became obsessed with this. You believed if you studied the people here long enough, you would find a window into the history of your own world and perhaps into yourself as well. I got lost like 2 minutes into this. So, you made a decision. You would observe the people here, but first, you would push the boundaries of their fear and anger, just slightly, and document the response. So he created all of this. God damn it, John. Whatever the fuck you just did killed your wife and your kid. Or not, maybe it was a false positive just for consolation. So you worked here in your lab. The equipment you modified, an air current and weather manipulating device, was used in your world to regulate climate, preventing the formation of deadly storms and reliving drought. Reliving or relieving? I didn't read that right. I think it was relieving. I don't think reliving drought is like something you want to happen, and you adjusted it so you could pull off what in all likelihood was the large-scale practical joke in human history. This is your god. I will end your world soon enough. Be ready. Oh, so that's why the message sounded silly and vague. It was just some random dude who wrote it. At least, the Abrahamic god was decent enough to tell Noah like, hey nigga, I'ma go drown humanity, so build a fucking boat if you don't want to croak, man, or something more powerful and less silly than that. I can't recall what went through your mind at the time. It was supposed to be a prank. Indeed, in your world, it would have elicited a few laughs, and perhaps a wrist slap from some of the humorless bureaucrats in central government. But here, you never in your wildest dreams could have predicted the ramifications of your actions. When you first arrived in this reality, your life sign scans provided you with astounding information. This world was populated with more than 7 billion human beings, an astronomical number compared to the world you came from. A week after the start of your social experiment, I should have known. No wonder this is a shitty prank. Badoops. The number had dropped to a little over 5 billion. Holy shit, this is a lot worse than a shitty prank. Don't tell me the whole Holocaust happened for giggles. 7 days. In 7 days, 2 billion people lost their lives to homicide, suicide, and genocide, and can barely begin to imagine how it happened. You. I never thought of the people of this world could be so volatile and fragile. As of the time I am recording this message, around 10 million life signs remain. A fraction of what was here when I first arrived, by the time you return and listen to this. And you. As soon as things got out of hand, you were going to run off back to your universe. You had no idea what else to do, so I played God. And that I don't remember anything about it. And now I am relying on some post-recorded message to fill me in on the details? Sounds like a bad hangover. But in your last walk through the town above your lab, you found her. Oh, there she goes. There she is. The daughter of the store owner, she called you over. She was bringing water inside and asked if you could help. You agreed. Aw, dude, you fucking killed her? You found her beautiful, but it was more than that. She remained remarkably calm and composed as her world was falling apart around her. Sarah possessed a quality you found so rare and desirable. She was kind. You soon realized that she didn't need help at all, that she called out to you that day because she had seen you before, and she had always seen you alone. Sarah thought it sad that anyone would be alone, especially in such a crisis. Her mother had passed away at a young age, and she grew up an only child in a small town, so she had encountered loneliness herself on many occasions. She made you coffee, and you sat down and talked. You shared stories of who you were and how you grew up. Of course, you couldn't reveal the truth. You fabricated a backstory. Worried about what might happen if she became attached to you, you created a mediocre persona of yourself, hoping it would dissuade her interest. And you know what? She fell in love with you anyway, just as you fell in love with her. She always knew. You could tell. She knew that there was more to you than you would let on. But Sarah was patient. She believed you would tell her when the time was right. Honestly, you meant to. You had no idea where or how, but you were resolved to let her know the truth she deserved to hear. You married her, but still haven't told her anything. Her father accepted you. This whole town accepted you. Before long, you found yourself a part of the world you had so quickly chosen to abandon. Separated from the dangers of heavily populated areas, the people here lived peacefully and supported one another. It was a wonderful counterpoint to the violence and misery prevalent seemingly everywhere else. It couldn't last forever. Okay, so this confirms it. The cult was real then. This whole pack of murderers, they killed Sarah in cold blood. They made Sarah's blood cold. I guess I went a little too much on the dark side there. That day they arrived at the farmhouse that you and Sarah renovated together, the place where you were going to start a family. This did not happen though. Like, the part about renovating a house didn't happen, and that in this universe they married first before starting a family. So basically in this timeline they were doing, like, making the right decisions. It wasn't fuck first, everything else second. There was some backwoods cult. I can only assume they were one of many that formed during that time. Sarah went out to investigate while you were asleep. She must have been very frightened, but she went out on her own. Okay, see, now that's the problem with John's heavy sleeping and always waking up late. The fact that he sleeps more than dead people cost Sarah her life. Or maybe, I don't know, saved John's life in the process. She should have woken you up, but she didn't. Perhaps she wasn't thinking clearly, or perhaps that crazy girl wanted to protect you. From people with guns? I think the only way to, like, protect people in this situation is to, like, have a gun of your own. But we already know how you and your father fucked up in that department. When you woke up and saw she wasn't there, you ran outside. But by then, it was too late. They murdered her right in front of you, and in doing so, they murdered the child inside of her. Your child. And then, they shot you. Twice. So that did happen. Maybe John's memory was just really fucked up. But the people from our world have been biologically modified to withstand trauma of that sort. Within a few hours, your wounds healed and you regained consciousness. You had hoped that something could be done for Sarah, but... I think her eyes are still open. Jesus Christ, close it, man. God. By then, it was too late. She had been dead for too long. There was no way to revive her, to return her to who she was. Of course, you wanted to hate them. You wanted to hate the monsters that did this. If you think about it though, John caused this entire bullshit about the world ending, which kinda gave birth to all these unruly cults, and caused all these, like, I don't know, downright unpleasant people to show up. So yeah, billions of people dead, your wife shot to death, and your unborn child still in her. Goodbye decent sleep, hello sleepless nights. Until you realized, it was all your fault. Oh no. They weren't evil. They were ignorant and frightened. Young children not yet mature enough to fully understand what it means to be human. You realized then who the monster there really was. Oh, John. It was all you. Everyone in town was dead, and you buried them all near the church, their sacred ground. Except Sarah. Why, is she not Christian? I mean, I assume that the church was Christian, because I remember seeing a cross there or something. You laid her and your unborn child to rest in a small grove of trees next to her childhood home. Okay, so that's not Sarah's father's grave. Okay then. Maybe Sarah's father is with the people in the church. You laid her and your unborn child to rest in a small grove of trees next to her childhood home. You thought it was there she would want to be. That's what all people say. How about resting beside her father's grave? Didn't think about that, did you, dumbass? After all, a home's just a house if it ain't got no family in it. And you gained your resolve then. You were going to fix everything, all the damage you had so blindly and mindlessly done. You look through all of your research to be inspired by any idea that might come to mind. Time travel was out of the question. The research conducted in your universe determined that it does not rewrite history. Rather, it simply creates additional timelines. I think I've read about this before. The multiverse thing, right? Maybe? I don't know. That was when I was 5 or something. Now I only read manga and shitty Facebook posts. So, yeah. Virtual thumbs ain't gonna feed those hungry African kids you like whoring, motherfucker. It would have created a new timeline for this universe, one where your experiment never occurred. Please donate if you can. Where was I? But this devastated world would still exist. Nothing here would change. So instead, after months of turmoil and obsessive work, you created the dark apparatus you see in this room. It may not look like much, but that thing, the one that looks like an infected Squidward nose? It was created for utilitarian purposes, not aesthetics. I thought that was a toilet. Should you step inside that device, it will read the precise molecular pattern of your DNA and destroy every occurrence of it. Not just here, in this universe, but in every universe and timeline. Okay, so I can't hop around time to, personally change futures, but I can shove my DNA inside that urinal timeline data delete or something, and every information about poor old John's gonna disappear. Don't know about you guys, but that sounds more far-fetched than going back to the past. But you know me, I'm no scientist, so don't take my word for it unless you're one of those gullible Facebook people who considers memes as legit news. Fucking Facebook people. Anyway, I'm not judging. It will effectively erase you from existence, and along with you the work you have done, both wonderful and terrible. I gotta say though, if you can somehow obtain even just a strand of hair from some downright evil person, we can make the world a better place. But then again, it could also be used for evil, so that's a huge responsibility. Could be worse than a nuclear bomb too. Huh. Anyway, how my most brilliant work to date would be used for such a purpose. In the end, right as I was about to step inside and accept accountability for my actions, I became a coward once again. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Nothing seemed more unnatural to me than the act of erasing my own existence. It would be a death of the most strange and final sort. Goodness gracious, I was not prepared for this. I need a fucking drink. The wormhole is still here. It will not destabilize unless I go through it and return to my universe. But I could not bring myself to walk away from all of this and from Sarah. After what seems like an eternity of indecision, I have finally decided to erase my memories, to make things a lot easier for me and forget all of the bad things that I've done. Well, I guess that's not the cowardly way to go. But only for a while, okay. Only until I return here. I will replace my memories and make it as though I have lived in this world my entire life. The world you have experienced is one I have created. Well, not entirely. The town is much as it was when I first arrived in this universe. I only made a few minor modifications. I have filled it with apparitions, holograms, as you would understand them now. Oh, the angels, meant to guide you, and perhaps still a small amount of the fear and confusion of the people in this world must have felt because of your actions. Also you, man, Yellow John. Sarah, though, do not think of her as merely some hologram, a recording as I am. She was created from your memories of her. What you felt for her was genuine. So the boner was real. That's a consolation. I wanted you to remember that, your feelings, when you return here with the experiences of a denizen of this world. I have hope that this will lead you to make the right choice. So now, the time finally has come. I have sealed the exit behind you. What a scumbag. Your indecision ends here. Why do you say your indecision and not our, or even better, my indecision? Even if you're just a hologram, you're making it sound like the responsibility all falls on Red John, as if you've got nothing to do with all of this. Even if it's all your fault. Dude, you fucked the world up, man. You fucked up. So fucking rub some dirt on it and man up. And all these memory erasing bullshit can't go feeling the burden of guilt, so you erased yours? Damn it, man. You know what you just did, right? You're making Red John, a dude who believed he's just some random innocent real estate agent or lawyer, and he's now like absorbing all these information about him messing up the world, saying that this is all his fault, and now he needs to sacrifice himself to undo all the things you've done. Alright? You get what I'm saying here, right? Like, just imagine the feeling of being on death row, believing you're innocent, or at least having no recollection of, like, committing a crime, but some asshole just keeps blabbering about you being guilty or something, and that you need to die on the electric chair. Shitty, huh? That's what you're doing to Red John, you fucking coward. Behind me is the way home, back to your universe. Okay. So we're gonna choose, right? I will not implore you to make one decision or the other. I think it is clear how I feel. The choice is yours now. Yeah, what you feel is cowardice, boy. I remember. Just barely, but I remember the fear of being in this room. I don't want to die. And I can't live with what I've done. But at least I'm clever enough to have set this trap for myself. Yeah, you gotta give that to Yellow John. Yeah, Yellow. That's a word for coward, right, Marty? I know now. There was no other way I would be able to make this choice. So I have trapped myself. Okay. Let us weigh out our options. Later, because I need to take a shit. Give me a minute. Okay, I've thought about this long and hard, kind of like the muffin that I let out a while ago. So, it's kind of obvious that reversing all of this is the way to go. I mean, it's like an actual mistake eraser. The mistake being John, of course. Low blow. Anyway, yeah, mistake eraser. Billions of people wish that they have those. And, like, you have one right in front of you right now, so why not take it? Problem is, though, this man's a chicken. So, if we both weigh our options, like billions of lives, or I'm a fucking chicken. Like, it's kind of obvious right now at this point we need to kill this motherfucker, even though he never really intended to get tons of people killed. So yeah, let's just take this as an opportunity to become heroic, right? Like, Red John being the heroic sacrificial lamb to reverse the mistakes of Yellow John. After all, Red John sympathizes more with the people, because at one point he actually thought that he was one of them. I think I'm just rambling now, so let's do this. It's nice knowing you, buddy. This is the device I'm supposed to step into in order to erase myself. Do I really want to go through with it? We've already thought this through while taking a dump. This is the right thing to do, buddy. Easy for me to say since I'm not the one who's going to get erased. So bye, John. Ah, wonderful. You've made it absurdly dark and cramped in here. An added layer of terror to supplement the experience. I was really appreciating the craftsmanship, I suppose. Sarah, you were right. Now that my memories are almost fully returned, you have searched my heart, and I love you too. No. This might be the first grammatical error I've seen in this game, but then mine's not perfect, so I could totally be wrong. I know, what? God damn it, I know I'm supposed to be doing this for the good of humanity, but more than anything, I think I'm doing this for you. Your world, Sarah, is more precious than you know. Care for it well and surpass my own. You really do have the potential to do that. Whatever happens, Sarah, I need you to promise me that you will be Ureshi. I think I might have used that word in a totally wrong context. Sorry. Oh no, this was a really stupid decision, wasn't it? I mean, look at this place. It's falling apart. Straight out of an 80s slasher movie. I remember when I was little, Mrs. Murphy lived here. This house had been in her family for a few generations. She was a sweet old lady, a little nutty, but who wouldn't be? Living in the middle of the woods like this? Question mark. That was a question. When she passed away, her grandson inherited it. Did I even say that right? He didn't want to deal with the headache of maintaining it, so he was going to have it raised. And I couldn't let him do it. What was it? Woman's intuition? Or something? I just had this feeling that this place couldn't be destroyed, that somehow I belonged here. So I bought it from him. $2,000, all of my savings from working. That's what I offered him, and he took it. It seemed like a bargain at the time, but now... Dad's gonna have a fit. Actually, what is he going to think? All my talk of staying in the city when I finish school in another semester, and I go and do something like this. Anyway, it's late at night, and I feel weird looking around here. But one more stop before I head home. I guess, now that my house is here, this is my own personal little mountain. As much as I love New York City, nothing beats this view. One day, when I finally have a family, this really will be my home. Haha, I can picture it. Me, my husband, our kids having a picnic out here under the stars on a warm summer evening. And there I go again. Get a grip, Sarah. You don't even have a boyfriend yet. Huh? Oh look, that's John. Where the fuck did you come from? Did I hear something? Must have been the wind. Nobody ever bothers to come all the way up here. Where the fuck did that guy come from? I guess it wasn't such a bad idea after all, buying an old farmhouse on a whim. It's not like I could stay in that little apartment above the store for the rest of my life. Maybe John's invisible or something. And a small town isn't really that bad. I can make a life here. Even if Dad yells or thinks I'm crazy at first, I think he'll be glad I did this. I'm glad I did this. This is just the beginning. So, what's that guy doing there? Is he like a spirit or something? Or is he even the real John? Or maybe just some sort of replacement John that, totally somebody else that nature decided to place there to fill in the hole he left? I gotta say though, I really fucking enjoy playing through this. Even though at first I felt like it wasn't really necessary to put a twist about, science fiction or some shit, but it was, I guess, explained well enough for me to accept the fact that John was a dick who played God, I suppose. Anyway, that was the Age of Deliverance. Don't expect me to do the alternate ending, so if you want, you can play it yourself. Should be in Game Jolt or something. That's the game. Okay, good. Thanks for hanging. See you tomorrow, or next week or something. I don't know.